Hi, everyone. Welcome to Unscaled. It's the Full Metal Traveler, Jeremy Long, and I just want to say thanks for being here. It's a fun travel show. You're invited every single week. We're really glad you keep showing up, and we're really glad you haven't called the cops yet. So we're hitting on all cylinders. This week, we got a really fun show for you. It's all about national parks. We are going to hit you with some history, some facts, some figures. Also, we're going to discuss America the Beautiful Pass. Is it worth the purchase? What happens, with this thing and what else can you do beyond maybe national parks? Then we're going to play a little game of versus if you're on a tight schedule in some of these places, should you go see Old Faithful or should you go see something else if you're at Yellowstone? We're going to have that answer for you. Plus, a little bit later, we're going to interview and have a little chat with Ryan Hauck, the executive director of Cody Yellowstone. And he's going to give us some great insider tips and some, his personal favorites when you go and visit the park, when you visit the area. And a little bit later on in the show, we're going to review some stuff, right? Some stuff. I leave it vague on purpose. It's exciting. You don't know what's coming up yet. This week, my co-host is author Amy Long. What's going on, Amy?
Hey, how are you?
Having a good time. This week, it's any week you get to talk travel, Amy, any week, especially you get to talk about our national parks. I think it's a fun week.
Yeah, there are so many different national parks that have different environments and things to see. You can feel like you're in a different world from one to another. So it's really fun to go check them out. Yeah,
absolutely. And, the crazy thing is, and this is where, here's where the learning begins. So get your learning cap on, everyone. We're going to learn you some things. Okay. All in all, there are 63 national parks in the United States and 2 U.S. territories. But the designation itself is only for those 63, but there are 400 quote unquote national areas like national monuments, national forests, national lakes, things of that nature. But we're going to be talking about the 63 that get the uppercase, the uppercase national park designation. And what that basically means is it's under congressional protection from logging and things of that nature, development, like overdevelopment and all that. So if you weren't sure, that's what we're talking about. Do you have any idea, Amy, when the first national park was created?
I am going to guess around the late 1800s. I could be wrong.
Look at you. It's almost like you're looking at show notes or something like that.
I'm actually not. I was looking at something else.
Do you know what our first national park was?
I only know because you told me earlier. It's Yellowstone.
Oh, look at that. Yellowstone National Park was our very first national park. In fact, it was the first national park anywhere in the world. We were the ones who kind of invented the national park,
wow.
Or at least given it that name and that kind of protection and everything from the federal government. But it was created by a stroke of the pen of President Ulysses S. Grant.
Interesting.
He might have done a couple of things. And it was in March of 1872.
Oh.
So over 100 years ago.
Well, I have personally never been to Yellowstone, but you were just there.
Yeah.
What was your initial thoughts upon seeing the very first national park?
Number one, I did not have enough time. We were on a very tight schedule. I went up there with, John Clark, who's a travel photographer. He's co-hosted on this show before. We did a very quick trip. We only really got to see the west side of the park, but it was still amazing. Yellowstone is just, number one, it's huge. Mm-hmm. Number two, it is gorgeous. And even in our short amount of time there, we saw tons of animals, which kind of go to, they are having an issue with that lady. Some visitors have been gored recently, getting too close to the wildlife.
Well,
don't get too close.
It's not the animal's fault.
Not the animal's fault that we are in their home. Excuse me. But like I said, not enough time, but it's beautiful. Highly recommend, of course. And man, I can't wait to go back. Tell you that much.
And if you're like me, you've probably seen a lot of posts on social medias lately from people showing how the water levels have risen this year from all the snowfall, and everybody's saying, you have to go. They haven't had this much water. The water levels haven't been this high in years, and that now's the time to go see it. I don't know what that means for crowding, but yeah, I think I would love to drive up there if you want to take a weekend with me.
I think in June the official visitation is at almost 900,000 visitors for the month of June alone.
Wow.
Which is up, of course, over the last 2 years by, I think, double-digit percentages. So there's a lot of people in the park this year. I think everyone getting out past post-pandemic, getting back into the swing of things. Maybe they didn't do it last year. This is the first summer that people kind of hit the ground running again. We saw a lot of folks there, but it didn't ever feel, maybe one or two spots did it ever feel like overcrowded, but that's for a later discussion. But so first national park was Yellowstone in 1872. The latest national park created is one I visited just a couple of months ago in West Virginia. New River Gorge National Park, created December 2020, and it was fantastic.
Really?
Fantastic. Oh, man. Another one where I had multiple days near the New River Gorge National Park, but just not enough time to really get to explore everything. Everything that it has to offer anyway.
Isn't this the same park that had the bridge that you walked the catwalk on?
Yeah, the New River Bridge has a catwalk underneath it, and they do, you can pay to go underneath and walk underneath it, and it's like 900 feet in the air. Ugh. It's a stunning bridge. If you don't like heights, like I don't like heights, it is quite the afternoon to do something like that. But we also did go down to the river and do some whitewater rafting through a company called Adventures on the Gorge, which is a fantastic company. Cannot recommend them enough. So lots of fun to be had there. And you can tell different parks offer different things. Yellowstone, a lot of fly fishing. We saw tons of fly fishers in Yellowstone, all spread out. Nobody on top of each other, but everyone's spread out. But it looked like a good time. I've never been fly fishing.
Me neither.
It looks very interesting.
Sure.
I at least want to try.
Okay.
So that park was created in December of 2020. Now, the site, some of you may be asking, well, is there going to be a number 64? Maybe. And it might come as soon as this year. And we're already halfway through. So if it doesn't happen this year, folks are actually looking at 24 or 25, 24 or 25. Say that 8 times fast. The site most likely to get bumped up to that national designation is Okmulgee Mounds National Historical Park in Georgia. It would be Georgia's first national park, and it is on Muskogee Indian land, and it would be co-managed by the tribe and the park services that takes care of it, which would be the first time in national park history that happened. So, that could happen as soon as this year.
That's interesting. You said it's the first park for Georgia?
Mm-hmm.
So how many states do have a national park in them?
30.
30?
30 states.
Wow.
And 2 U.S. territories have national parks.
Okay.
Yeah. The most, California, believe it or not. Okay. You don't think about it. I mean, I know the big ones like Yosemite, Kings Canyon, Sequoia, Redwood. Those are kind of the 4 that jump off. But California has 9 national parks.
9. Wow, that's a lot.
Alaska has 8, and Utah has its big 5. And then most other states in there have the 1.
Wow.
1 or 2, maybe 3. I think Colorado maybe has 4.
Okay.
But the most visited national park in 2022 for like for a number of years in a row was once again the Great Smoky Mountains.
Oh, okay.
Right there on the Tennessee-North Carolina border, with nearly 13 million visitors.
Wow, 13 million.
That is a ton.
How big is that park? Do you happen to know off the top of your head?
Oh, no, not off the top of my head. So many hundreds of thousands of acres.
I imagine it's pretty big.
Yeah.
If they're seeing 13 million visitors a year.
It's not like Yosemite. Yosemite's like almost 800,000 acres. So it's not that big, but it does encompass a lot. And given its proximity to bigger cities and a more crowded East Coast, I could see why it's,
that makes sense.
And it's beautiful. I mean, it's beautiful. I haven't been, but I've seen pictures.
Right.
And everyone that's gone there, and it seemed like a couple years ago that was the place to be.
Oh, right.
A lot of our personal friends.
Yeah, everybody was going to Tennessee.
Every single weekend there was somebody in Tennessee. So somewhere we need to get to visiting very soon. But compare that to, here's another interesting stat: the least visited national park.
Least visited. All right.
Least visited national park is the National Park of American Samoa. On the island of American Samoa, had 1,887 recorded visitors last year.
Oh.
So from almost 13 million to 1,800, that is quite the, I don't know, quite the difference.
That's a big drop, yeah.
Yeah, but, seeing as, American Samoa is practically Australia.
Well, I just Googled American Samoa while you were saying that, and it looks gorgeous. I hope next year we are one of those 1,800 visitors to the national park. Because,
I would love that.
I don't think you can find anything prettier than this.
Oh, we're going to try, though.
We're going to try.
And we
got to check them all out.
I've been to a number of parks.
You have? How many have you been to?
13.
13.
12 or 13.
That's impressive. Like that. I'd love to hear if anybody's been to more than 13.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. But, you know what? We're going to, I don't know. We're going to talk more, especially if you're going to visit a lot of national parks, or if you're going to visit, if you have a plan on visiting all of them, then you should absolutely consider America the Beautiful Pass. Is it worth it, though? If you're only going to do it every once in a while, and what else does it encompass? We're going to have more. Stick around. It's all about national parks today. This is Unscaled. Welcome back to Unscaled. It's Jeremy Long, the Full Metal Traveler. I want to thank you so much for joining us for all of our past interviews, for episodes, and tons of stuff on the blog. Go to fullmetaltraveler.com, check it all out. Or if you just like to send me hate mail, you can go do that too. That's all right. You send me hate mail, I'm just sending you some back. I don't know, being very defensive about our national parks today. We were talking about interesting facts and figures about our national parks. And earlier and a little bit later, we're going to talk about, if you're pressed for time, some suggestions on what, through just a couple of parks. We don't have time to go through all of them, but some suggestions on, maybe do this instead of this other thing. And then we're going to talk to Ryan Hauck, the executive director of Cody Yellowstone, in just a few more minutes. So stick around right now. So we were talking about visiting all these parks. I visited about 13. Right now, there are 63 national parks. The crazy thing is, if you do these individually, if you do one every couple of years, it could take a lifetime. It could literally take a lifetime to visit all of our national parks, which is crazy to me, right? But if you're on a trip, or say you just really love national parks and you're going to do multiple a year, there is a pass worth, that will get you into all of these places. It does come with a price tag. Is it worth it? That's what we're going to discuss right now. And that pass is the America the Beautiful Pass. Right now, you can go and get it online. It takes a couple of days to come in. The service is pretty fast. We've ordered it a number of years. and it retails for $80. $80 flat, no taxes or anything. It's all right there. $80 for this America the Beautiful Pass, and it gets you into what, all of the national parks, right?
So I think it's important to note that it's $80 for the pass, but the pass is for a vehicle, so it's not per person.
Yeah.
So when we go travel, we just show that pass and we go right in. So both of us are included in the entry fee there. The pass covers not only national parks, but it also covers more than 2,000 federal recreation sites across the U.S., which is your U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service facilities, lands managed by the U.S. Forest Service, Bureau of Land Management, all of these different places, recreational places that you can go. So we're not just talking about the 60-odd national parks. We're talking about over 2,000 places that this pass will get you into.
Absolutely. So, like, we were kind of reading it off earlier, but some of the more interesting places, like Alcatraz, it gets you entry to Alcatraz.
Right.
There are, I mean, like you said, there are tons of state parks. I know if you're here in Vegas, where we record our show, Red Rock Canyon, the scenic area, which is technically like just a conservation area, like a state or a national conservation area.
Under the Bureau of Land Management.
There you go. It's covered in its fees and everything. And there are, museums?
There is a museum on site. There are multiple hiking trails, and then there is a scenic trail to drive through the property.
Oh, but what about museums?
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. Does it cover museums? Yeah, it covers a lot of museums. I was actually just reading that the National Park Service has actually grown to become more of almost like a historical society, helping to preserve the nation's history and culture going back, hundreds of years. So they're really working to encompass quite a few things as opposed to just national parks. So if you are a museum goer, or you do like to go hiking, or you just like scenic views, this could potentially save you quite a bit of money if you purchased it.
Yeah, because if you just look at the fees associated with a single car going into, say, maybe the Grand Canyon, how much is that fee?
It says if you walk into the Grand Canyon, it's $20 a person. If you come in through a single car, it's $35 a car. So
you and the spouse and the kids, you hop in the car, you go to the Grand Canyon, and boom, $35. Hey, it's a good cause. It helps support the national parks. But say a couple of weeks ago, John Clark and I, we left Vegas kind of haphazardly, not a plan in place. But we made it a point to hit a number of U.S. parks. Okay, so we hit Yellowstone, Grand Teton, Arches, Canyonland, Zion. Is that it? Yeah, we had a plan to hit Bryce Canyon and a couple of other places, but we didn't make it to all of them. But we did hit a number of them, and because of the America the Beautiful Pass, we didn't have to pay a dime as far as entry fees, when that easily would have cost us.
You were probably looking at $200.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here's the great thing. John serves in the military. He has an active U.S. military ID. He showed it to him right at the gate. They gave him the military. There is a military version of America Beautiful Pass that you can get for free if you have a military ID. And there's also a couple of other versions.
Right. I was just reading, and I think this is probably the most interesting one. But for fourth graders, so if you have a child in fourth grade, they can get an America the Beautiful fourth grade pass for free. That is good for the entire year that they are a fourth grader. I don't know why. It doesn't say, but I find that very interesting.
Forget the other grades, just fourth grade?
Fourth graders are very curious. Let's put it that way.
I don't know. Once I got about eighth grade, I got really curious.
Not about national parks.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's true.
There is also a senior's pass.
Yeah.
And so it is $80 also, but it is not $80 annually. It says it is $80 and it is a lifetime pass.
There you go.
Once you hit that age.
What age is that? Does it say what age it is?
Unfortunately, I already clicked off of that. Let me see.
No.
Sorry, I was.
It's okay.
Moving
Just
ahead.
find it. But for the regular America the Beautiful Pass, you can go to nps.gov, nps.gov, and it's all right there. All the information. Like I said, we've done it. You fill out a couple of things. You pay the $80, and it's actually pretty quick. A pretty quick turnaround.
Right.
You'll get the pass because they ship it, I think, 2 day.
We had it within 2 weeks. I remember that. It was very, very quick.
Yeah, I think depending on the rush
Right.
of people, you get it quicker, but it's a pretty quick turnaround.
Right. And
or
just
you
coming
can
back to the senior pass, it's $80 for a lifetime senior pass if you're over 62.
there you go, 62.
Or you can pay $20 for an annual pass.
Okay, there you go. Well, never mind. I wasn't going to complete that thought. Or a lot of these, they can be purchased at the gate, but I know most people, once you're there at the park, you don't want to stop and get held up. Some of them have designated lines, so if you're not in the right line, you can't get the pass and all this other stuff. So just do yourself a favor, get it ahead of time, save yourself some time and some money.
I would also point out that some of the parks do limit entrances for the day. So I would just check out whatever park you're interested in going to and see if they do have a daily capacity or if you need to reserve a spot. We've had to do that before, saying that we're going to come between 8 and 8:30 and our name was on a list.
Yeah.
So you may just want to go to the nps.gov website and look up the park you're planning to go to and see if they have any restrictions like that.
Yeah. John and I ran into that problem at Arches. Arches is very much on a registration schedule, and I think our time was at 1:00. We showed up at like 11:30, and they sure enough turned us around and told us to come back. They was not playing.
You have to follow the rules.
So speaking of being on a tight time schedule or following the rules, these are just a couple personal tips we were kind of getting into if you're on a very tight schedule. Some of the parks that we went through, I mentioned earlier, Yellowstone, we were on a very tight schedule. We got there first thing in the morning, like right after it opened, but we didn't have all day to spend in Yellowstone because we had to drive back down and get back to like Utah and things. So knowing what I know now, and this is all this is, personal opinion, knowing what I know now, you asked me, I think a while back, if you had to do it differently, because we did go see the big things on the west side of Yellowstone, like the Grand Prismatic Spring, which is that big colorful spring that you see pictures of everywhere. You can Google it real quick. It's beautiful. You can see it and walk it, which is ground level. Or if you drive around to the side of it, there is an overlook that takes you, you got to park, which parking is hard to come by there. You have to park and walk up a cliff or walk up a hill or whatever it is. I don't know. And you get a overlook of the Grand Prismatic Spring, which is where a lot of these beautiful, and it's like deep blues and a green and orange and poppy yellows and all this stuff. And it's because of the bacteria that comes from the superheated water and everything. Just a little bit of knowledge right there for you.
Interesting.
We left there and immediately went over to Old Faithful, which Old Faithful, they kind of have it down to an inexact science of when it will erupt, but it's not always on time and it's super crowded. So for my money, seeing both of these things right now, I would choose the overlook. I would park, take my time, go up the overlook, get the beautiful pictures of the Grand Prismatic Spring, as opposed to Old Faithful. Now, Old Faithful is, I know it's a national treasure thing, right? Mm-hmm. It's on everything. It's on every item in their park and everything. I get that. But for the eruption that I got and saw versus the Grand Prismatic Spring, I was like, Old Faithful looked like a little, it's not how it used to be.
I don't know that you want to call or phrase it for the eruption that you got because that just sounds dirty, but.
Oh. Yeah.
But I guess it was a little anticlimactic, so I can see what you're saying.
I don't think that's much better. At all. We visited Sequoia National Park.
Yes, we did.
A couple years ago. We did a number of things in there. My daughter and I, we climbed Moira Rock.
Right.
You guys went to General Sherman. We did the log tunnel. If you are pressed for time, of those three, or maybe two versus three, you only have time for two of them. Either the log tunnel, or everyone takes a picture of the giant log that's on the ground and you drive through it, versus the General Sherman tree, which is a huge tree.
It's huge. Yeah.
The base of it is just enormous. Or climbing up Moira Rock. Which two would you choose?
I was with you the whole time, but I chose not to walk up the trail on the rock. Just It had already been a long day. I was tired. So for me, I probably would skip that one again, because I do think the tunnel was really cool. We were lucky in that there were only a few cars over there, but we have seen photos of very long lines of cars trying to get their Instagram moment. So if you have to pick two, I would probably do the tunnel and the General Sherman tree, just because if you've never seen a tree that large, and by that large, I'm looking at the stats right now, the base of it is 36 feet in diameter. Yeah. You can't even really comprehend it. It's so big.
Yeah, we can talk about it, but it's just ginormous.
It's huge. So I would do that. It is a little bit of a hike. It's about half a mile from the parking area down to the tree. And when I say down, it is down, and you have to hike back up. But I do believe they run shuttle services sometimes. Okay. So that could cut down on your time.
Yeah. There you go. If you go to a national park and you don't want to walk around, they got shuttles. Speaking of shuttle service, they do have that at Yosemite. I went there a couple years ago. The big one is always between climbing Half Dome, which is always an adventure, or going to the much less crowded, just as scenic Clouds Rest, which is a longer, just as strenuous walk, but less crowds and all of that. A lot of people lean toward Clouds Rest. I'll leave that to the people. Clouds Rest versus Half Dome. Let me know. Go to fullmetaltraveler.com. Drop me an email. Drop me a line. Let me know which is better, Half Dome or Clouds Rest. Or what would you do? Give me your ideas for verses. Let's do this instead of this. What do you think? Keep it right here. When we come back, we're going to talk to Executive Director of Cody Yellowstone, Ryan Hauck, about all the things. Well, all the things you should do in Yellowstone, right? All right, this is Unscaled. We'll be right back. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Unscaled. It's Jeremy Long, the Full Metal Traveler. This show, we've been talking all about our national parks. And I love my national parks, man. Not necessarily the hiking. Chubby guys like me need lots of water, lots of, shade, things like that. But it's okay. It's okay. Us big fellas, we gotta hit the parks too. I don't know how we segue into this from that. We have a very special treat for you today. The Executive Director of Cody Yellowstone, Ryan Hauck. Thank you so much for joining us today, man.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. Excited to be here with you.
Oh man, come on! You'd be the first one to say
that. I can tell you, even if you're a big guy, Yellowstone is 2.2 million acres, so there's plenty of opportunity to hike. But there's something for everybody. I can tell you that.
Yeah, there absolutely is. And, a couple weeks ago, I actually was in Yellowstone. A friend of mine and we drove through the west side. So we went to West Yellowstone, not on your side of the park, but it is significantly cooler there. It is, what can a guy like me say about how beautiful this park is? But it is, you have to be able to step back in time a little bit and understand what, folks like Teddy Roosevelt and all of them saw whenever they were first going into the park. Just the sheer grandiose and majesty of how beautiful this place is just off the scales, and you get to experience this on a daily basis. You know what? I have some names for you, but I'm most of all, I'm a little bit jealous.
No, I mean, there's a reason Yellowstone was the first national park in the world. I mean, it really is like nowhere else you've ever been. We have a lot of media that comes through here. We have a lot of tour operators, just a lot of first-time travelers, and they think they know what to expect until they get here. I mean, it truly looks like you're on another planet in some areas, with geysers going off and just crazy colors that you get, most famously from, Grand Prismatic, things like that. There's fumaroles, there's the mud paint pots where mud is just literally looks like it's boiling out of the water. You have the highest concentration of mammals than anywhere else in North America over in Lamar Valley. You'll see massive herds of bison and elk and moose and, all the way down to little foxes, little ground squirrels, bald eagles, golden eagles. I mean, the stuff that you see there it's hard to really explain until you are there to experience it. And we are definitely very lucky, to call this place home. And what's even nicer is not only do we have Yellowstone National Park, we also have Shoshone National Forest, which is the first national forest in the country. So we have 80% protected public lands here that we get to experience every day and call home. So it's pretty fun.
Wow, that's so exciting to hear, man. But let's back up a little bit. You are the executive director of Cody Yellowstone. Tell me a little bit about your mission and behind the everything you do for the tourism in the area, and just to highlight all the natural stuff you guys have going on there.
Sure. Yeah. So, everything in a nutshell, we're the tourism office, right? We're here to market and sell the destination, to produce economic impact, through the tourism industry. What's funny is Cody itself actually only has 10,000 residents. Park County, which is obviously we represent the entire county, only has just about 30,000 residents. Yet we welcome well over 1 million visitors every single year, because of everything that we have here. We're typically known as not just the East Gate to Yellowstone, but we also have access to the Northeast Gate of Yellowstone. So you'll see a lot of people what's called hub and spoking out of Cody. So they'll stay in Cody and they'll go out for the day and come back, go out for the day and come back. That way they don't have to, change hotels all the time.
Yeah.
But we're much more than just a gateway to a national park. We're also very well known for being one of the best Western towns in the entire country. We have 14 guest and dude ranches, in our county. We have the only nightly rodeo in the entire world. It's called the Cody Night Rodeo. It's spelled Nite, and that's been running for, over 130 years now. And that happens every single day from June 1st through the end of August. We also have gunfights downtown. We also have amazing outdoor recreation options with guided services all throughout the county as well. So we, not to brag, we really do kind of have it all, though, with the national park, with the authentic Western experiences, and some amazing world-class outdoor recreation. And really our mission is more than just economic impact. It's creating experiences for travelers that, have traveled a lot and spent a lot of money to get to this area, and make sure that they have lifelong memories by the time they leave here, and really get to experience more than what they even expected that they would get to do when they got here.
Now, you mentioned, there are so many options. Obviously, people think Yellowstone first and foremost, but like you said, there are so many chances to have different experiences. Getting dirt under your fingernails. There's the history and the culture, the cowboy culture, all of the, I think I saw something about chuck wagon dinners and all of that you can get back into.
Yeah.
Personally, what in your mind, in your opinion, are some of those can't miss experiences for maybe first time visitors or second time visitors who maybe only saw the park the first time?
Sure. Yeah. So our number one attraction by far and away, that's outside of the park, would be what's called the Buffalo Bill Center of the West. This is 5 Smithsonian affiliate museums all under one roof. And it really truly is 5 full-size museums under one roof. It takes up an entire block. It is massive. If this was in the center of Manhattan, it would be the star of Manhattan, but we luckily have it right here in Cody, Wyoming, of all places. So that is definitely a must-do. The other must do is what I mentioned before, the Cody Night Rodeo. It really is every event that exists in rodeo happens every single night throughout the entire summer. So whether you're international traveler, motor coach, domestic family coming into town, that Cody Night Rodeo is an absolute spectacle. And there's a reason it's been going on for over 100 years. It is fantastic. If you're looking for some amazing outdoor recreation options, I mean, honestly, Jeremy, it's hard to narrow it down. We are definitely known to be one of the best fly fishing areas in the entire country. We have 1,500 miles of world-class trout fishing streams all throughout the Bighorn Basin. So, fly fishing, we have lots of guided services for that. Another really fun experience that's really starting to catch some popularity is an experience with a company called Tread and Trails. They actually rent out Polaris side-by-sides. And specifically, the experience that they're offering right now is to what's called Kerwin Ghost Town. To get to Kerwin, you actually have to go through river crossings and some really massive mountainous landscapes that you'd come to expect when you come to Northwest Wyoming. And when you get there, you actually get to walk and look inside of these historic mining buildings that existed inside of Kerwin. Because it's an old mining town, the rivers are full of minerals. So you'll see rocks that are like royal blue and red and white and all sorts of colors throughout the river. About 3/4 of a mile hike from Kerwin, once you get there, is actually where Amelia Earhart's vacation cabin was being built. So you can go check out where that site is. It looks like some logs nowadays, but you get to go see that history. On your way there, you'll probably see grizzly bears. You'll probably see moose and some elk. You actually pass by a bison farm, so they're not wild, but you do get to see bison on your way out there. So why that's become so popular is because you get to see the wildlife, you get to experience the history, and you definitely get to see that landscape that you expect when you come to Northwest Wyoming. So couple outdoor rec options for you there, a few kind of the front-facing attractions for you there, but there's so much to see and do. I mean, you could spend 10 days here and not see and do it all, so it's pretty spectacular.
Yeah, and then you are probably one of the rare people that when you say something like that about an area such as Cody Yellowstone, that whole area and all the towns and everything involved, it's kind of an understatement. There is so much to take in there from just that area alone. So recently, I know Cody Yellowstone launched what you guys are calling a sipping trail. It's the destination's top breweries and eateries and everything. Tell us a little about that, about the sipping trail drink pass, and how the hell do I get one of these t-shirts? Because I want one.
Yeah, well, it's actually pretty easy and it's free, so I'm glad you're interested. So yeah, once you get to Park County, or what's known as Cody Yellowstone, so that includes Cody, Powell, and Meeteetse, we essentially have all of our breweries, distilleries, and basically what we call our drinkeries, places that actually have kind of set up bars and stuff. If you visit these places, you'll actually go to our website, you'll download the Sip and Trail. It's not an app. It just actually works through, like your Safari or your Chrome on your phone. And basically when you go to these places, you just ping that you're there. You say check in, on that, application there. Mm-hmm. And once you ping that, it will, check in and make sure and know that you are actually there. Once you're there, you'll start to gain points. The more points you get, the more prizes that you qualify for. And the more points you get, actually, the better the prizes get. So it starts out with just a sticker. If you visit a couple places, visit a couple more, will you qualify for a t-shirt? Visit a couple more, well, you just qualified for the grand prize for the Sip and Trail, which is a laser engraved glass. And all you're really doing is checking in, and doing the things that you were going to do anyway. And you get prizes for doing it. So this just launched actually just a few weeks ago, and it's gone very well. We've actually seen people from over 20 states already participate in this thing, and it's gaining even more popularity as we do stuff like this, podcasts, news releases, stuff like that about it. It's been great. It's been a lot of fun.
Oh man, that sounds like a blast right up my alley. I get free stuff for drinking. Which that's just right there. Everything I love. Before we go, Ryan, once again, just kind of focusing in on people who may not have ever been to the area. In your opinion, any tips or advice for first time visitors, either to the park or to Cody Yellowstone in general, any of the towns around there? Because I know in certain seasons it can get a little crowded. It can be a little busy. What would you recommend?
Like you just said, like certain times of year, it can get a little bit crowded. We're never too bad over here, I don't think. Especially from June 30th to July 4th, we hold a PRCA rodeo, a professional rodeo. It's the best in the entire country during that time of year.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see more people than ever. But it's for a certain reason. We're one of the best 4th of July destinations in the country. But,
Right.
if you're looking to escape the crowds, I guess, the park usually opens beginning of May and closes right before November, or maybe November 1st, right around there. And so those are always good times to come closer to when the opening and the closing of the park happens. If you're wanting some insider tips, it just depends on what you're looking for. If you want to really see an abundance of wildlife, I would highly recommend September. September is when you're going to hear the elk bugling. You'll see a lot of grizzly bears out kind of foraging before they're getting ready for their hibernation. It's kind of mating season for a lot of the animals. So you'll see, bison, all out and about and doing all their crazy mating rituals. I mean, it's a spectacular time to come. And it really is not, the crowds that you'll see in July. September is a great time to come. And even October is another great time to come. If you're looking for something that's a little bit unique and kind of not so mainstream, I would highly, highly suggest wintertime, especially if you're more adventure focused. What's cool about the wintertime is that's really when you will see more animals than any other time in the year, which you probably might be surprised to hear. Other than bears, because they're hibernating, the snow drives the animals down to lower ground, and without trying, you'll pass by massive herds of elk, and bighorn sheep will be way easier to find, up and down what's called the North Fork, which is the area between Cody and the east gate of Yellowstone. You'll see lots of birds come out in the wintertime as well, such as eagles, and hawk and stuff like that. But for wildlife and some serious photography opportunity, winter is also great. But also winter is great for some outdoor recreation. We are actually known as one of the best places in all of North America for ice climbing. And specifically, we have the highest concentration of ice than anywhere else in North America. And yes, that includes Alaska. Yes, that includes Canada. For North America, we have the highest concentration of ice for ice climbing, which is really saying something. We also have world-class snowmobiling, world-class cross-country skiing, and talk about not having to fight the crowds and not having to pay the high prices. You don't have to worry about any of that in the wintertime. And we still have access through the East Gate by snowmobile into the park if that's what your ultimate goal is, which wintertime in Yellowstone, nothing beats it. It's absolutely spectacular. So that's kind of some hidden tips and tricks for you guys there.
Well, Ryan, thank you so much for your time. I know you're, incredibly busy, especially this time of the year. So we really do appreciate you stopping by the show and everything. So, folks, if you want to be involved, you want to keep up with the events, everything to see and do, places to stay, everything, go to CodyYellowstone.org. That's CodyYellowstone.org. Check out everything that got going on there, especially the brand new Sip and Trail Drink Pass. And listen and take in all those tips that that Ryan just gave us through Cody Yellowstone, and take it to heart, because September, October, great months. Winter, he just laid it all out there for you better than I ever could. Ryan, thank you so much. Guys, when we come back, we're going to have more. Keep it right here. It's Unscaled. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Unscaled. It's Jeremy Long, the Full Metal Traveler. Thank you so much to Ryan Hauck for all his time. Hope you learned some stuff. I know I did. Some best practices and some tips, and his own personal favorites as far as things you should hit in town. Because the park is the park. Yellowstone is Yellowstone. Hit everything in there. But some good stuff, information for, the town of Cody and all the surrounding areas. So thank you so much to him. Earlier, we talked a little bit about America the Beautiful Pass. Totally worth it for $80. Get out here. You can get into like 2,000 different places for free. And of course, some history, facts, and figures on our national parks. So we're going to close with some reviews. From time to time, agencies, press companies, they will send us products, travel products for review. We will say up front, we are never financially compensated for these reviews, or we're not under any obligation to talk about them. When we get things that we like and we use and we try out and we would recommend it, we're going to pass that on to you, let you know about it. And in this case, we have a couple of things we really wanted to work into the show. The first one is something that, yes, you can do, especially on your travels, and it would make sense to use. The second one, I don't know. We'll leave that as a toss-up. But the first one we're going to talk about is True Primal's line of soups. Yes, I know that sounds weird, but it's right now I'm holding you right here in my hands. It's the Southwest style chicken soup. Okay. Now soups are very personal to people. People have hard opinions on soups. I'll tell you that much. You talk to people about soup and people get opinions about soups. I think most impressive about True Primal's soup is not necessarily how good it tastes, because it does taste excellent. I think it's all the things that aren't in this soup.
Right.
So if you are not into gluten, if you are maybe, trying the paleo thing or something like that, this is a soup I would highly recommend you check out, because listen to the list of things that aren't included. There's a number of them. I won't go through all of them because I want you to go into an exploratory mission, right? But no gluten or wheat, no corn syrup, no added sugar, no preservatives, no grains, corn, oats, rice, no artificial flavors, no MSG, no yeast, no soy, no soybean, no canola oil, no beans, no milk, dairy-free, right? Okay, it's all of these things. And there's so much more I didn't even list. True Primal. Okay. We tasted it. The thing I like about it is that if you're going hiking, if you are going RVing or anything like that, super easy.
Right.
It is so convenient. You can microwave it. You could have a stovetop or around a campfire or something like that. You can make it, they have it in a package.
In a pouch.
Yeah, a pouch. There you go. Couldn't think of the word. You could cook it right there, eat it right out of the pouch. You don't need anything else other than maybe a spoon. But, you could just
drink it.
Yeah, you could drink it too, I guess. Yeah.
I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, you tried it. What do you think?
I was pleasantly surprised with how good it tastes, because you do go on these camping trips with your friends, and you always buy food that you can just add boiled water to and eat. And
they're dehydrated, or just add water kind
right.
of
And
freeze-dried stuff.
There's some mixed reviews on those, but so I wasn't, honestly, my expectations were not that high for this soup, and I was very pleasantly surprised. And the other thing that I really like is looking at the list of ingredients. It is all organic vegetables and seasonings. There's nothing on here that I can't pronounce.
Yeah.
So these are real ingredients that if you were going to make a soup at home, you would put you would put those same ingredients in the soup.
Now, obviously, you can season it to your personal taste. We are from the South. We like things just a little bit spicier, but you know what? It is ready to go right out of the pouch. It is super delicious. And in fact, we were like, they gave us a couple of pouches. We were like, hey, you just want this for dinner? Because it tastes good. It's filling. And, you don't have to worry about all the extra stuff in it. So once again, go check them out. They have a whole line, of flavors and everything. So find the one that you like, but check out True Primal for, their line of soups. I mean, I am absolutely impressed.
Me too.
Impressed by that. The other thing is less national parky, but it still has something to do, with your travels. Now, cologne atomizers are not a new thing. They've been around for a while, so it's not necessarily a new product. But this is from Trevallo. It is the Milano line for them. It's marketed towards men, but honestly, anyone could use it. So this is a cologne atomizer. What is a cologne atomizer? Well, basically, you remove the top of your cologne or perfume. With a couple of pumps, you fill this travel size container up, and then boom, you have a travel size version of your favorite perfume or cologne to bring with you, to have on your person, whether you're traveling far or whether you're like going to the gym, whether you keep it in your car for a refresher in the middle of the day or something like that. Or I even thought about like, giving it for bachelor parties or bachelorette parties.
Right.
They have a whole line of these. I'm looking at the black and silver one. It's weighty. It doesn't feel cheap and plasticky like so many other ones do. Mm-hmm. It is a little bit pricey. It is pricier than these other ones because it's not cheaply made of this like plastic that you think is going to fall apart in your hands. I like it though. It feels luxurious to me.
Right. Well, so I was very happy when you received this because we do travel and I don't have any travel size perfumes. And when we are just doing carry-on, mm-hmm. I don't get to carry perfume. So I have been actually looking for one of these and I just hadn't purchased one. And so when this came in, sorry, babe, but I put my perfume in it. So this is now mine.
It smells good. It smells, and most of all, man, if you're going for something like a little bit elevated, and we're all about elevated experiences when we travel, this is the product for you. So the Travello Milano line of personal perfume and cologne atomizers. Highly recommend. It feels great. It looks great. I mean, it looks stupendous. I mean, see this black and silver.
And it was super easy to use.
Super easy.
Yeah. I literally 2 steps to fill it and then you're on your way.
Yeah. You're, and you can replace the vials, the inner vials and everything and have multiple perfumes, smells, different things, whatever you want, whatever you like. So I also wrote a little bit more about it. You can go to fullmetaltraveler.com. Check it out. So thank you so much for those press groups and agencies for sending those products along. And again, we are never financially compensated for these, and we're under no obligation to give it any kind of nice review or anything like that, or even mention it in the first place. So we're only mentioning it now because we really liked these products. So we hope you'll check them out, and we'll leave the URLs, the links where you can check them out online. When we post this show on our website, again, fullmetaltraveler.com, all about our national parks. So just find that episode and you'll see all of that. So we want to thank you for sticking with us through our look at some of the facts and figures, history of national parks. And of course, our interview with our friend Ryan Hauck from Cody Yellowstone. He's the executive director. Hope you learned some good stuff. Hope you found it interesting because I sure did. Didn't you?
I did.
You did.
I learned some things.
You did. You learned all kinds of stuff.
I did.
For everyone here, and for Amy and myself, I want to thank you so much for joining us. Check us out, fullmetaltraveler.com. This is Unscaled. We'll see you next week.